presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Fox Sports.
Last night at the Trop, David Price and Luke Hochevar each tossed 8 shutout innings. It wasn't until the 10th that a run would cross the plate on Eric Hosmer's flute single, giving Kansas City a 1-0 win. This afternoon, right-hander James Shields goes to the hill, looking to continue his recent role. Rays baseball now on Sun Sports. The homestand continues. This will be Game 3 of the series between the Rays and the Kansas City Royals. Rays taking the first game, dropping last night's game 1-0 in 10. The Rays continue to occupy the top spot in the wild card race. The game up on Baltimore, running second overall in the American League East, 4 back of New York. With Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats, Todd Callis will be along in just a moment. It's great to have you looking in. Well, the Rays will send James Shields to the mound this afternoon. The Rays have won 7 of his last 9 starts, and he's 3-0 in his last 4.
His last 4, James Shields looks like the James Shields that we saw all of last year. Very dominant, very fastball heavy. He has been in attack mode these last 4 starts, and look at the numbers. 3 wins. The team has actually won all 4, but the 1.80 earned run average impressive, but the walk total, just 2 walks and 27 strikeouts, and that spans 30 innings, and that's because it's like, hey, the fastball, the more you use it, the more efficient you become with it. That's what he's done. He's getting ahead. He's putting guys away, being a very efficient with the pitch count, getting a lot deeper into the games, averaging 7.5 innings in those last 4 starts. So James Shields have looked to continue that run after a tough loss last night this afternoon.
And for your local Southern Ford dealers, starting pitchers, James Shields with a mark of 11-7, an earned run average of 4.03 overall. And Luis Mendoza, and recently he has been very good in that starting role for the Kansas City Ball Club. Overall 7-8 with an earned run average of 4.26. Well, the Rays have had a lot of positives over the last 3 or 4 weeks. They have, above all, shown themselves to be very resilient, dropping last night's game 1-0 in 10. Todd Callis talks about their bounce-back ability in a moment.
Baseball, last midweek day game of the year at Tropicana Field, if you don't count the Labor Day holiday game against the New York Yankees. Rays and Royals wrapping up this 3-game series. For the Rays, they have lost 3 different games this month by the score of 1-0. But in our Toyota trend, it never impacts them the next day or for a while after that. As you see, the last time David Price pitched at home prior to last night, Rays lost 1-0 in 10 innings. They went on to win the next 7, scored almost 6 runs a game. Then that perfect game by Felix Hernandez, the Rays lose 1-0. They go on to win the next 5, score almost 8.5 runs per game. We caught up with Ben Zobrist and Joe Madden and asked them about the Rays' ability to put those kind of games behind them.
We've done well at that in the past, and hopefully we can do that again today. I think that we would have loved to get that win yesterday, but and continue the winning streak. But at the same time, every day is a new day, and we just put it behind us quickly, and we're good at just moving on.
We don't really let yesterday bother us on the next day or today. I wasn't worried about it coming into work this morning. Our guys are really good about that. I didn't realize the connection, so I guess I'll take a 1-0 loss once in a while.
1-0 losses seem to lead the winning streaks. Today is a website Wednesday. These guys are focused and ready. You can ask the broadcast booth your questions by emailing us at AskTheRays@Fox.com or tweeting us at SunSportsRage, hashtag AskTheRays. That's one of my favorite segments of the broadcast right there. We'll have baseball 3 minutes away. Evan Longoria back in the lineup as the DH against the Kansas City Royals. Enjoy all the action right around the corner on Sun Sports.
At a game apiece, the Rays and the Royals. Joe Madden's club 68 and 55, and here is the Kansas City lineup. Lorenzo Cain leads it off, followed by Escobar and Gordon. Billy Butler's the DH. Perez and Moustakas 5th and 6th in the order. Jeff Francoeur in right, followed by Hosmer and Giovatella at second base, batting 9th.
James Shields taking the mound this afternoon for the Tampa Bay Rays. And let's look at the scouting report on James, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida. Keep it rolling. You go over the last 4 starts. We talked about it in the open. 30 innings of tremendous pitching by James, a 3-0 record, a very good ERA, just 2 walks in those 30 innings, and bring the heat. That's the main reason why the dramatic turnaround for James here in the last couple of weeks is he has really upped that fastball percentage, has started to lead with that pitch, brought the changeup in and then sprinkled in the cutter and curveball, and it's actually made those pitches more effective because it catches hitters more by surprise.
Yeah, roughly speaking, that fastball usage has gone from about a quarter of the time to almost half the time.
Yes, and that would qualify for dramatic.
So we're all set to play baseball. The results have been dramatic as well. And here's the first pitch of this game from Shields. And it's a call strike. First pitch presented by Pincher Penny. So we're underway as Shields opens with a fastball strike to Kane. One ball, one strike. Kane hitting .262. And a base hit in last night's game. One of 5 hits collected by Kansas City. Down to third, a hot shot, and a nice pick down there by Keppinger. His throw to Pena, and plenty of time to get Kane. Sharply hit and well played at the hot corner by Jeff Keppinger.
You see that play right at the cut. Not a whole lot of time to react. He goes down, glove side, makes it look easy. A nice toss over to Pena. This ball was ripped. Look at him like a goalie. Glove saving a beauty.
Nothing to it, he says.
No, yeah.
Here's Alcides Escobar. Pitch outside. A ball, no strikes. Escobar starting the afternoon over 300 at 303. 0 for 8 in the series. 2-0. Escobar came into the series with an 8-game hitting streak. Fly ball into left. Jennings there waiting already. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up behind Shields in the outfield, left to right. Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Matt Joyce. Across the infield, third to first, Jeff Keppinger, Ben Zobrist, Ryan Roberts, and Carlos Pena. Jose Lobaton will be behind the plate. And what have you seen so far here in the first inning? Is James Shields and that fastball. And I'm telling you, the fastball, hey, like anything else, the more you use it, the more efficient you are with it.
Well, the lesson is don't mess with success. One ball, no strikes on a fastball wide to Alex Gordon. One and one to count. Tapper foul up the right side, and the count goes to 1-2. You had Gordon out in front there. Gordon's been among the top 10 in total hits, but hits here at the Trop for his career have been few and far between, and he's out on strikes on a change. 1, 2, 3. Go the Kansas City Royals. Rays coming in to hit, no score. To you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today for great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota, moving forward. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. Joe Madden's lineup will again have Desmond Jennings leading off, then B.J. Upton and Matt Joyce. Evan Longoria back to the DH role, hitting in front of Ben Zobrist and Jeff Keppinger, Carlos Pena, Ryan Roberts, and Jose Lobaton rounding out the Rays lineup. First pitch from the right-hander Mendoza is fouled. A strike to count to Jennings.
Mendoza making his 18th start of the season. You see, he came out of the bullpen for 5 ball games.
It's inside. It's 1-1.
Features a fastball, curveball, changeup, and an impressive head of hair.
Pitch popped up on the right side. Giovatello, the second baseman, makes the catch.
Take a look at the Royals defense as it lines up this afternoon. The outfield left and right, Alex Gordon, Lorenzo Cain, and Jeff Francoeur. Across the infield, third to first, Mike Moustakas, Alcides Escobar, Johnny Giovatello, and Eric Hosmer. Salvador Perez will be once again behind the plate.
B.J. Upton, bounding ball up the middle. Giovatello, the second baseman, got there but could not make the play. And B.J. Upton didn't hit the ball hard, but a lot of hops, and has himself a base hit.
Now that's something that both Desmond Jennings and B.J. Upton can both do. Well, you hit a chopper like this, get it by the pitcher, and take off, because Giovatello is going to have to come across, not only field that ball backhand or going away from his position, but then throw across his body from over near shortstop.
Upton at first. One out. Here's Matt Joyce. And Joyce takes a strike. Pitch off the plate end to Joyce. It's 1-1. Mendoza spent most of last year at Omaha, their AAA club, and was the Pacific Coast League Pitcher of the Year last year. He will throw a lot of ground balls. Over to first, and Upton is back. Doug Henry was his pitching coach at Omaha and really got him top to bottom more, that downhill plane, driving the ball down, and even more ground balls than usual. 1-1. Fly ball 10 to right. Francoeur is there, not too deep, makes the catch. 2 gone.
Well, on the season, Mendoza is sitting right around 65% ground ball, but you know, in 120 innings, just over 120 innings coming in, actually with the 2 outs, 121 now, 18 ground ball double plays. So he knows how not only to get them, but when he needs them, he's able to make the pitches to get those balls hit on the ground.
Well, here's Evan Longoria. Evan, the DH, started last night in the field for the first time since his return, playing third base, and then left after 7. Quick move over there, and Upton's back in. That's another part of Mendoza's game that he has elevated, trying to stop the running game.
Team's just 3 out of 8 success rate. He's got a couple of pickoffs. Salvador Perez doesn't hurt either.
That's exactly right. Talking about him the other night pitch inside. If you give him half a chance, you've got a very high probability of just stopping the opposition's running game.
You know, when Mendoza, too, being the Pacific Coast League Pitcher of the Year, I mean, I guess somebody's got to win that award, but not easy because that's a hitter's league.
There goes Upton, pitch inside, and the throw is not in time and in front of the bag to the first base side, so Upton gets a steal.
Well, Perez is going to have to rush this throw because, first of all, BJ gets a pretty good jump, and then not the easiest pitch to handle. Watch how he's got to catch this ball way in, bring it all the way back to the hand and throw, and a great job by Giavotella here on the save. That ball gets by him. BJ probably a pop-up slide and is over at third base right now. A nice dive stop there by Giavotella on a play that he was not going to be able to make anyway.
So the Rays with a man in scoring position here in the first. Swing and a miss. It's 2-1. Fastball is upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. Now the 3-1. Evan breaks his bat, hits the ball on the ground to third. Moustakas makes the play, and the barrel into that bat wound up in the stands just short of the Kansas City dugout. No score through 1. To you by H.H. Gregg. On to the second inning. The young man gets to keep that barrel into the bat as a souvenir. Here's Billy Butler, the DH, leading off, and he takes a pitch inside. 1-0. Strike. 1-1. Perez next, and then Moustakas to follow. Two balls and a strike. fastball and a called strike to Butler. It's 2-2. Hold the count right there.
Not an easy pitch to foul off either. That was a good changeup there by Shields down, and Billy Butler able to get the bat head to it just to spoil it. That's the type of hitter he is, a very accomplished hitter.
And he's had a run of success against Shields, 7 out of 18. It's a 389 average.
Oh,
but
wow.
It's out this time. Strike 3 call.
You know, a little bit of an extra turn by Shields, and then he drops the front door cutter. He starts this cutter in off the plate and cuts it right to the inside corner. This is a perfect pitch. Wow. And that's why Billy Butler, number 1, doesn't swing. Number 2, doesn't say a word about it. He knows.
Salvador Perez, the catcher. He shoots it into the gap in left center field. That's off the wall on the fly. Karams back to Upton. And Perez in at second with his 11th double of the year. Perez did everything except wind up waiting his swing into that pitch.
Well, he got one right out over the plate, too. Not the location that James wanted. And look at that. Perfect swing and a lot of carry for a line drive. This ball jumps off the bat. All the way on the fly.
So the Royals have their first scoring opportunity. Here's Moustakas. Mike Moustakas, the third baseman. He's hitting .252. Shields starts with a fastball up and away. Moustakas is 0 for 8 in the series. 5 strikeouts in the first 2 games, including 4 last night. Ground ball right side. Perez goes to third as Pena steps on the bag at first base. So a runner at third with 2 outs.
Well, let's take a look at James Shields and his pitch breakout. The first 21 starts of the season. Look at those numbers. Fastball approaching 28, changeup near 30. But the last 4, the big difference. Taken away from the cutter, a little bit from the curveball, a little bit from the changeup. And look at that fastball usage, almost doubling. That's been the big difference. Been using a lot more, been more aggressive. It has pitched in better counts, and therefore has had early in the count outs, lowered that pitch total, become much more efficient.
Now Francoeur takes a strike. Shields starting him with an off-speed pitch.
And then when he decides to come with the front door cutter like he did with Billy Butler, you saw how it caught him by surprise. Not something that he was used to seeing.
Ground ball up the middle and a base hit into center. That's going to score Perez. Kansas City will break out in front 1-0. Francoeur shot it right back into center.
Well, he did a nice job of staying through that baseball. This ball was running back in towards him, and Francoeur able to stay down and through it right there and just be able to power that ball right back up the middle. So many times you see that fastball with that kind of movement gets rolled over to short or third. Francoeur with some good handwork there.
Eric Hosmer takes a big cut and misses out front. Strike 1. Hosmer at 237. He got the blue pit in the 10th inning last night that drove in the only run of the game. Ground ball shortstop picked up by Zobrist. Throw to Pena. Retires the side. A run, 2 hits. 1 man left. 1-0. Kansas City.
First, I asked the broadcast booth question of the day is via email. Gilda wants to know about Sean Rodriguez and the option, why he was the one that needed to be sent down because he had an option available. She just wanted a little clarification on that, guys.
All righty. Well, here's Ben Zobrist taking the pitch, and it's a strike on the inside part of the plate. Zobrist, Keppinger, and Pena. Well, and in that case, really, Sean Rodriguez is a victim of circumstance as much as anything. 0-2. 2 strikes the count. I mean, every general manager, and in this case, Andrew Friedman, who heads up the Rays baseball office, their first order of business is to gather talent and to keep it, to keep as much as you can. And Johnson, Elliott Johnson, was a guy, another infielder, but he was out of options, which meant that he would, in order to send him to the minor leagues, they'd have to expose him to be picked up by all the other clubs. Well, pretty good chance that somebody with a roster spot would take Elliott Johnson. He's done a nice job here. Well, since Sean Rodriguez had an option left, he didn't have to be exposed to the rest of the league. Zobrist is out 4-3, and so the Rays send Sean to the minor leagues, where he will get some, not only get some extra at bats, but feeling being that he'll be back here as soon as they expand the roster, and playing regularly down there will help him, and ultimately the idea is that it'll help the Rays when they expand the roster and get him back. Here's Jeff Keppinger, and a base hit punched up the middle into center field. So Keppinger is aboard with the second hit off Mendoza.
Well, Jeff Keppinger doing what he does best, bat to the baseball, finding a hole. Takes that ball right back up the middle. Simple approach, great result.
Well, Carlos Pena, runner at first with 1 out. Carlos starts the day at 194 with 16 home runs and 50 runs batted in. So Carlos facing Luis Mendoza today. The pitch is down, 1 ball and no strikes.
Today's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
One 1-0 pitch. It's a little bit outside. 2-0. Kansas City with a run at the top half of the inning on the Perez double and Frank Core's RBI single. Keppinger off the bag at first here for the Rays. And Pena lifts it down the left side, slicing foul, 1 hop and back into the stands. 2-1. Getting word that Bartolo Colon has been suspended 50 games after failing a drug test.
Is that going to start rearing its ugly head now?
Well,
especially after the
2 here in the last week,
and all that's come along with the Melky Cabrera situation.
3-1 the count.
A lot of different things floating around out there that makes you wonder.
3-1 the count to Pena. And he draws the walk. So that'll push Keppinger up to second base. And Pena goes down to first.
Second baseman, number 19, Ronnie Roberts.
Here's Ryan Roberts for the Rays with a couple men on. The pitch missed. 1 ball, no strikes. Pops the fly ball into center. Kane is there to make the catch. 2 up and 2 down. Yeah, we'll get more word on Cologne, but a positive test for testosterone. Going 10-9 this year with a 343 earned run mark.
You know, and this is one of those situations where, hey, if this is going to start to be the new thing, the testosterone, and that's what, you know, the last couple of guys that have gotten popped have been for, you know, if that starts to become an issue, then maybe that 50 games should go up.
And here's the deal. The Rays are playing Oakland here tomorrow. He's supposed to open the series for the A's tomorrow night here.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to be happening.
No, it won't.
There's Jose Lobaton, 2 men on with 2 men out.
Always looking for an edge.
Pitch is a strike.
You know, that's the two. You hear a lot of people make the argument, well, what does it really do for you at the end of the day? You know, and they'll present the counter argument. Well, here's the deal. It does something or they wouldn't be taken.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? I mean, they're not doing it just for the sake of it. Making a difference somewhere, somehow.
The pickoff play at second base, and back in is Keppinger. Escobar, the shortstop, taking the peg. Lobaton now in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. Keppinger at second, Pena at first. The 0-2, bounce foul. Mendoza coming off a very good outing against the White Sox. A 4-2 win, and he pitched 7 innings in that one, allowing just the 2 runs and 4 hits.
Much like
he misses wide here, 1 and 2.
Much like James Shields in the last 4, his last 4, he started to hit his stride, a 3-1 record, holding opponents to a .220 average, and most impressive, averaging just under 7 innings to start. Letting him go.
On 2 is foul down the third base side, back out of play.
But this is the situation, and not just for the obvious reasons that every team wants base runners, but Mendoza, another one of those pitchers, very good numbers out of the windup, out of the stretch. Not nearly as much.
One-two pitch again. That's low. 2-2.
Once you get this late into the season, you start building up innings, 120, 150 innings, and you have that much of a disparity between nobody on base and runners, and then runners in scoring position. It's one of two things, maybe a combination of both, but it's either something mechanical out of the stretch, or it's a mindset. It's guys out on base, and it starts to fluster you.
And ball 3 is down. Well, the first thing it does is divide your attention if you let it.
Well, yeah, and in certain situations, with Jeff Keppinger over at first, and even with Carlos Pena, if he's worried about these guys running, outside of a cursory glance.
But we've seen cases when you wouldn't think they would.
But that's not paying any attention. That's not even looking at them. If you look at take a peek back there, they're not going to go.
3-2. Ball hit on the ground to second. Giovanella with the toss to first. No runs. A hit, a walk, 2 left. We're through 2. It's 1-0 Kansas City.
The Royals with an early 1-0 lead over the Rays. Place your reservations for 2013 season tickets. Establish seniority today and be in line for priority upgrades and exclusive benefits, including the opportunity to purchase 2012 postseason ticket packages. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
We go to the third. 1-0. Kansas City scored a run in the second inning. And here's Giovanella, the second baseman, leading it off and taking the fastball too high. Johnny Giovanella, 1 ball, no strikes. One and one came the top of the order next. And he'll be followed by Escobar. Now 2-1. Shields worked 6 innings in that last outing against the Angels. So going to be hooked up against Jared Weaver. Right center field, and here's Joyce coming over. That's the first out. Shields picking up his 11th win in that game Friday in Anaheim. And a run of 3 wins. Oakland, Toronto, the no decision against Minnesota at the beginning of the last road trip, and then a win over the Angels. Making his 10th start of his career against Kansas City, and he's 6-2 against the Royals. First pitch, and Lorenzo Cain takes a strike, but not a lot of at bats against Shields up and down this Kansas City lineup, with the notable exception of Billy Butler. Cain chasing the pitch, breaking ball away, 0-2. Butler, who was out on strikes his first time today, has 19 at bats against Shields. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Really nobody else in the lineup enough to establish much of a trend except for Gordon. And Gordon came in with 19 at bats as well. So those 2, and that's really about it. Fly ball into right. Matt Joyce waiting for this one. A couple of putouts for the Rays right fielder here in the 3rd. 2 up, 2 down.
Shields in that bat to Cain showed him every other pitch in the arsenal before coming back to the fastball to get him out. Cutter through that good curveball. In fact, it looked like Jeremy Hellickson's curveball from the other night. That good sweeping action to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've seen a better curveball out of Hellickson than the one he used, and used it often in his last outing. Alcides Escobar. First pitch is a fastball upstairs. He chased the fastball up that time. A little cut action to that one. And it's 1-1.
I think going back to that Jeremy's curveball from the other night, what was so impressive, not only the spin on it, but the way he was able to command it to both sides of the plate.
Little looper into shallow right field over Pena's head for a base hit. Pena will gather it just as it crossed the foul line, and Escobar has a bloop single into short right field.
Well, those are the frustrating hits that you give up as a pitcher. You know you're going to do it from time to time. You're trying to make good pitches on the guy. You're trying to get bad contact. Look at this ball get in on Escobar. He's not even sure where it was. And here you get this kind of action.
Gordon struck out his first time. Shields got him on a changeup. Runner takes off. The pitch is down. The throw is not in time, and a stolen base for Escobar. That's his 25th of the year. He wasted no time at all stealing his way into scoring position with 2 outs for Gordon.
Well, and he picks a curveball to run on. Lobatone's got to go down low to dig that ball out and try to make the throw. You see the good jump there. James Shields had 13 pickoffs a year ago, just 2 this year, and now 11 stolen bases off James.
And the count goes to 2 balls, no strikes on Alex Gordon.
Remember how dominant he was last year controlling that running game. Teams were 6 out of 11 with 13 pickoffs.
And a move to the bag by Zobrist, but Escobar is back in there, and no move back by Shields.
Well, at the very minimum, you're trying to shorten up that lead by Escobar, keeping then the secondary lead down, and maybe on a base hit you get a shot at the plate.
2 balls and a strike with the bounding ball foul.
I think a lot of teams, you know, the way that James, his season went last year, you get to the point where you're like, well, look, if he's going to pitch that well, when we do get base runners, we may have to, you know, get aggressive, push the envelope a little bit, do some things that may be outside of our comfort zone in order to try and score runs.
2-2. Up front again. Allen with 2 outs. When Escobar singled, he was the prime man to run. And did pick up the steal. Two. The count goes full. We got him with a changeup the first time and working him heavily with the changeup here in the third. There's Billy Butler on deck. Three balls, 2 strikes. And he fouls it back. Three-two pitch again. And a fly ball lifted into left. Jennings is there and makes the catch. So a man left at second. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 1-0 Kansas City. Third. Rays will send the top of the order. Desmond Jennings up here against Mendoza. Jennings, Upton, and Joyce. And there's a bunt, first base side. Mendoza off the mound, and the flip to first in time to get Jennings trying to bunt his way on to get something started.
Well, not a bad idea by Desmond. Only thing is that ball has got to be, it's either got to be way short of the pitcher up the first base line, or you've got to be able to pop it by him. You see him square around here. This ball comes off the bat almost even with the mound, so Mendoza's got to make the shortest possible run, and that's what allows him to make the play.
PJ lining the first pitch into left, one hop in front of Gordon for a base hit. PJ wasting no time at all. He's seen 2 pitches today and is 2 for 2. He hit that little bouncer through the middle in the first and lines a base hit to left in the third. Back in there at first. Joyce Sends a fly ball short center. That's going to drop in front of Kane. Ball pops away from him, and Upton's going to take advantage of that to go to third. Heads up by Upton, who had to play in front of him, and a glance out there in center field when the ball fell in front of Kane and then bounced away from him. BJ headed to third. That's a base hit for Joyce and an error charge to Kane.
Oh, the beauty of acceleration as this ball right there gets away from Kane. BJ's got to hold up because he's not quite sure is he going to catch it or not. So you go halfway, now you go, and now you accelerate. Beautiful job there by BJ on the bases.
So that sets up a first and third for Evan Longoria. First pitch fastball, strike one. And Longoria is hit by the pitch. Mendoza coming in on him, hits him. And that will load the bases.
Well, Mendoza's trying to keep this fastball in close to Evan and gets away from him. Just nicks that shirt, the jersey. That's enough.
Well, they're loaded for Ben Zobrist now. A couple of hits and a hit batter. Pretty impressive numbers there for Zobrist with the bases loaded in his career.
You hit with the confidence of knowing that the pitcher has to throw you strikes. He does not want to walk you. So you feel good about the fact you're going to get a pitch to hit.
And Ben lifts a high fly ball up the right side. Rancourt down near the bullpen, and he has that ball fall behind him. And Zobrist is still alive. Well, there could have been a couple things right there with Francoeur. Number one, the ball, a towering pop foul down the right side coming down from the roof. And he might also have been thinking about whether Upton was going to try to tag. I just think he lost it.
Well, it looks like he's dialed in on it there. Got his eyes. He was calling for it, and that ball just almost blew by him.
Zobrist, another shot. Hits a fly ball into left this time. Gordon will have to go back to make the catch. Upton tags. He's headed to the plate and will score to tie this game at 1. So Zobrist drives in the run, gives him 50 runs batted in with Upton crossing the plate. And the Rays are tied 1-1 here in the bottom of the third.
The third baseman, Jeff Keppinger.
Joyce held at second. Likewise, of course, Longoria at first. The hitter is Jeff Keppinger. So Kansas City scored a run in the second. The Rays have one in the bottom of the third. Keppinger takes the first pitch for a strike. Breaking ball there. That's a strike call, says Scott Berry.
Tough combination of pitches there by Mendoza in, and then that sweeping breaking ball catching the outside corner. Doesn't change Keppinger's approach much. He's always pretty much see it, hit it.
Pitch blocked by Perez. 2 outs in the inning, 2 men on. Joey's second, Longoria first. Tie game 1-1, bottom of the third. And Mendoza steps back. We're going to get together with his catcher Perez.
Now they may be changing the signs. We got Matt Joyce out at second base. He's been out there for a number of pitches. Good view down there of the catcher and what he's calling.
What are they doing on the turn back there?
It's another one of those turns where I just don't understand it. You have 2 outs and 2 strikes on the hitter. There's no reason to make a pitcher out of the inning.
He misses down with it. 2-2.
Well, that's all I'm going to say about that.
It's a getaway day for the Kansas City Royals, and Mendoza apparently in no hurry to get away. Working slowly with it on base, and a base hit up the middle into center field. Joyce headed to the plate. The RBI single lined into center by Keppinger, and the Rays lead 2-1.
And you know, that's what ends up happening. You leave a pitch out over the plate. Keppinger, a nice 2-strike approach, takes it right back up the middle. I just don't understand. In a 1-2 count, runners on first and second. It's not like Matt Joyce is sitting on 40 stolen bases. Why you're running an inside move? You care about what he's doing back there. Give him a nice look and make a pitch and get the guy at the plate, because obviously the mind starts to be divided. We talk about it all the time, and if you're worried about stuff back there,
well, that's what we were talking about in the last inning. A guy who is distracted with men on base, whether he should be or not.
Right, absolutely. The runners in scoring position, that average goes way up. I mean, it's runners in scoring position is 330. There's just absolutely no reason in a 1-2 count with 2 outs to be even considering what's going on behind you, especially to the point of an inside move.
So the Rays grab a 2-1 lead. And now Carlos Pena steps in. Takes a pitch off the plate inside. Pena walked his first time.
You know, as we talked earlier, it's not even like he's been victimized with a lot of stolen bases. He's given up 3 coming into play. 4 total.
The curveball is low. 2 balls, no strikes.
Follow the Rays with the MLB.com @Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @Bat to 31826 or visit RaysBaseball.com for details.
Ground ball pulled up the right side. Foul. And it's 2-1. Mendoza originally signed as a free agent out of Mexico in 2000 by the Red Sox. Spent some time in the Texas organization, now with Kansas City. He's popped up foul right side. Hosmer over in front of the Rays dugout makes the catch. The Rays grab a couple here in the third inning and take a 2-1 lead through 3. Ready to open the fourth. Our AT&T trivia question of the day: who holds the Rays franchise record for the most consecutive starts of 7+ innings pitched? Billy Butler will open the fourth. Breaking ball in there for a strike. First pitch curveball. Chopper down to third. Keppinger gloves and throws a strike to first. That's the first out here in the fourth, and we'll check in with Todd. What's up, Todd?
Hey, Dwayne, how are you? Website Wednesday. Fans can ask the booth by emailing us at AskTheRays@Fox.com or tweeting at SunSportsRays, #AskTheRays. Dwayne, via email, ironically enough, wants to know from you, Dwayne, if you think Jim Hickey is one of the better pitching coaches in baseball, and if so, how come he doesn't always get the love nationally that some other pitching coaches get, guys?
Yeah, I think all you have to do is look at where he's been and the success that those pitching staffs have had, and you'd have to conclude that he knows what he's doing. Joe Madden was talking before the game about the game plan that Jim Hickey can put together. He does a great job of that. And I think the second part of that question is probably the one that is more perplexing than the first. He's a good pitching coach. Number two, what about the recognition? And I think at least there are two factors there. One, he doesn't call a lot of attention to himself. He's busy doing his job, which I think is an admirable quality of anyone. Do the job and let everything else take care of itself. And the other side of that question, I think, would be he's had great success in a couple of markets that just by their nature are not high profile markets. Count goes to 3-2 to Perez on that foul ball. He is of course very successful here with the Rays, but this market not one that's the center for media coverage. in Houston in its own way when he was over with the Astros and was successful. Same kind of situation as well. Major market, big market. Both of them are major markets, but not big media markets in terms of glitz and glamour and all the attention that might be paid to a pitching coach who's done well. Look at this, what the Rays are doing right here. He's had some talent to work with, but you know what? There's a lot of talent in the major leagues that don't have that kind of success. 2 gone, and that's all I have to say about that.
Nicely done.
Mike Moustakas up here takes a curveball for a strike. Thank you. One ball and 1 strike. Ground ball and a fly ball. 2 outs. One ball, 2 strikes with a foul ball. Kansas City scored a run in the second. The Rays got 2 in the third. Moustakas just a little piece of the fastball. Moustakas had struggled for a time, and coming into this series had started to hit again. He had gone something like 7 of 54 and then was 6 of 12 coming into this series. There's a little tap down to Keppinger. He throws him out, and Moustakas remains hitless here in the series with the Rays. 2-1 Tampa Bay. Brought to you by your local Southern Ford dealers, by the Florida Department of Transportation. Drive sober or get pulled over. And by Subway Restaurants. Play hard, eat fresh. Rays continuing their homestand, wrapping up the series against Kansas City. The Oakland Ball Club will come calling tomorrow night. Ryan Roberts leads off the bottom of the 4th. And a curveball from Mendoza to open the bottom of the 4th. Misses, low and outside, 1-0. Hot shot that spins Tom Foley around. Ball wound up down in the bullpen. 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Lobatone next. Then Jennings. 3 balls and a strike. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Rays. A run, 3 hits, and 1 error for Kansas City. And there's ball 4. Leadoff walk here in the 4th. Jose Lobaton heads to the plate. And Yost looking on, the Kansas City manager. Dave Island, the pitching coach, behind him there. Dave out of Zephyr Hills. Just to the left of your screen. Formerly pitched with the Rays. The big leagues with the Yankees. And a move to first. Roberts back in. Pitch outside, 1-0. This has not been a crisp outing for Mendoza.
Taking a lot of time in between pitches. Command has not been as crisp as you'd like it.
Goes a strike, and it's 1-1.
He came into the ball game 120 innings just over with 45 walks. Going to get some opportunities to get into some hitters counts, and he really slows the game down with runners on base. That's another factor that could play into why the success hasn't been there.
It's a ball and 2 strikes.
And Lobaton kicking himself there because he went after ball 2. That ball well off the plate.
And it really makes a lot of difference in Mendoza's success, as it does most pitchers, but when he's ahead, he becomes much more dangerous out there. He misses now, and the count is 2-2. So you want to force him to throw strikes and not chase bad pitches, because if you can keep him in hitters counts, you got a pretty good shot. To a fastball foul back. Desmond Jennings is on deck. And the count's going to go full. Calling time, with Mendoza taking a lot of time out there on the mound again. The runner takes off, and the pitch is fouled into the seats. So Roberts breaking there on the 3-2 pitch, retraces his steps. Yeah, Mendoza out of Veracruz, Mexico. He makes his home in Mexico City. Runner goes again, and the pitch lifted into center. It's Kane out there for it, making the catch. Roberts heads back into first.
Well, that was interesting there when Salvador Perez was calling that pitch. He was very demonstrative on what he wanted from Mendoza, really selling it. Just give it to me out here. We're going to get an out. I think he was thinking more along the lines of a rollover ground ball double play opportunity. But watch him right here. Look at him. He's giving him the fist. Calls the pitch. Just give it to me right here, he says. And there you go. Get a good result. That's a catcher too, selling. Hey, listen, this is going to work. Giving you confidence as a pitcher.
The move to first. Roberts back in. But there's a lot to like about Perez. And
yeah.
The Royals really appreciate what he does.
You know what he did right there is he's taking ownership of the game. There's some catchers you wonder if they care anything about catching. They'd rather just swing the bat and could care less about any game calling or working with the pitching staff. When you see something like that, you know that he is emotionally invested in the success of that pitcher, and we're going to make this work. You give me this pitch in this spot, we're going to get him. It goes a long way, not only for Mendoza but for the whole staff.
Again over to first. Roberts back.
Now he just needs to stand out in front of the plate and give Mendoza right here. Give him the speed up. Let's go. Give me pitches more often.
Well, there's something to be said for that about taking responsibility for the pace of the game and who's in charge of that pacing. Now Roberts takes off, and in mid-delivery, Mendoza stopped. So that's a balk. So Roberts, who had an early jump, advances on a balk.
Well, you just brain freeze. Watch Roberts take off. Now he's reacting as that leg comes up. Everybody's yelling. Can't stop though.
Jennings misses the pitch. It's 1-1, so the Rays now have a man in scoring position with the top of the order up here. Chance to add to their 1-run lead. It's 2-1.
I think you can officially say that the mind is divided when runners are on base.
That's the original point we discussed about him.
Amazing.
Jennings pops one up, foul ball, first base side. Hosmer will have a play and has to leap back. Almost overran that one. And Jennings is the second out.
These really tall pop-ups giving the Royals fielders some issues. Hosmer's got to hustle over, gets himself into place, and then realizes a step too far. Nice adjustment, though. Really nice adjustment.
Well, it's up to B.J. Upton. He's seen 2 pitches today and is 2 for 2.
Mendoza may want to throw a wrinkle into this one.
He throws him a fastball down.
And be glad that you went 1-0. I think if that fastball's up and out over the plate, BJ's going to blister it.
Ball, no strikes. Little tapper, third base side. Moustakas a double take out of the glove and still got him. Close play at first. Moustakas to Hosmer. They get Upton to retire the side. No runs, a walk, and a man left, and close at first. We're through 4. 2-1, Tampa Bay. Stop. That's a place where Joe Madden has come to really be impressed with the way he's handled that spot. Time for the Just for Men Keep Your Edge spotlight. He's also impressed with the last 10 games, hitting .368. Just as Ben Zobrist gives the Rays the edge, you can keep your edge with Just for Men mustache and beard. Jeff Francoeur leads it off here in the 5th. And the curveball that stayed up a bit. Francoeur drove in a run with a base hit into center field in the 2nd inning. One and one. Shields with a couple strikeouts on the day. Allowed a run, 3 hits. That's a strike, 1 and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And strike 3 is called. Francoeur caught looking. Having a parting word with Scott Berry on that. That pitch, not unlike the pitch that got Billy Butler back in the 2nd.
Yeah, it's that front door cutter. And as a hitter, as it comes out of the hand, you say, okay, that's a ball in. And you see that may have stayed in. It was close enough to get the call. But Francoeur, out of the hand, you give up on it. And all of a sudden, that late cutting action, in that case, takes it close to the plate. A lot of times you like to catch that corner.
One and all the count to Harry Cosmer. Fouls the fastball back. 1 and 1.
You know, as a pitcher too, that's one of those pitches that you know if you execute it, you know you're going to get a strikeout, and typically it's going to be looking. The idea of the pitch is, depending on where the guy's standing in the box, is you're throwing it right at his hip. And as that comes out of the hand, it's hard for a pitcher or a hitter to see a ball coming at him and want to swing at it.
Roberts at second with the pickup. 2 up and 2 down.
Well, let's take a look at today's text poll question brought to you by Autoway. If the Rays get a wild card berth, who would you like them to play? Prefer them to play? TB1, Baltimore. TB2, Oakland. TB3, the Angels. TB4, Detroit. Or TB5, the Chicago White Sox. Text 789-789 to submit your vote. Standard message and data rates apply. And what makes that interesting is if they were to get a wild card berth and not be able to catch the Yankees, whoever they would play, that would be a 1-game deal. I mean, it would be strap it on for 9. Here we go.
Gio Patella takes a strike.
An immediate Game 7.
One ball and 1 strike to count to the number 9 hitter. One and 2. Strikeout and a ground out here in the 5th. And he did go out on strikes. Couple strikeouts in that inning, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Rays. for the 5th inning. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. Who holds the Rays club record for most consecutive starts of 7+ innings pitched? Well, that's David Price with 12 now, and that's an active streak.
What's impressive about that, besides 12 straight of 7+, is the quality of those starts. It's been absurd what David has been doing out there.
There's ball 2 to Matt Joyce, 2-0. Well, David pitched 8 scoreless innings last night. Got a no decision. He's now had 19 of his starts. He's gone at least 7 innings this year.
Hey, he's given up 3 earned runs or fewer in 23 of 25. I mean, you talk about consistency.
Yep.
You talk about giving your team a chance to win each and every time out. I mean, that is the model.
3 balls and a strike. It's hard to imagine being any better than David Price has been this year. It's been fun to watch. Joyce draws the walk. So the Rays have a base runner here. Well, let's check in with Laura right now. Laura, how are you?
Great, Dwayne, and thank you. Now, remember, everyone, follow us on Twitter. It's @SunSportsRays. And one of the main tweets I get from people on our account is how much they love our broadcast team. Of course, we appreciate that. And now you can do something about it. Our own Dwayne and Todd are eligible for the 2013 Ford Frick Award for Excellence in Baseball Broadcasting because they've been doing Rays broadcasts for 10 consecutive years. You can log on to Facebook.com/baseballhall and get your votes in. Sorry, BA, you are not eligible.
Listen, I shouldn't even.
You're way too modest.
I'm going to listen. I've been doing this for like 6 weeks.
Want to know the count to Evan Longoria. All right, meanwhile, back to the game. Joyce at first, and a line shot that's foul. Oh, hit the ball hard past Moustakas, but the ball just fouled.
Don't try to overhype the foul ball, Dwayne, when I'm over here trying to vote for you and Todd.
Well, the ball was hit hard. It was hit hard.
It was hit hard, but I'm over here trying to log votes for you, and you're trying to oversell a foul ball. Because you don't want to have to deal with the fact that of that hit right there. Of you going, people voting for you. Yeah.
Pitch inside to Evan. 2 balls and a strike. It was Coleman, the right-hander, with a good arm in that bullpen. They have some strong arms in this Kansas City bullpen.
The major leagues in strikeouts. Saw a couple of guys last night put up big strikeout numbers. Holland, Guerrero.
And the liner into left. Gordon is right there for it though and makes the catch. So that's out number 1.
And I think it's a combination too of not liking what you're seeing out of Luis Mendoza as far as the tempo, the leadoff walk here. And he's a guy, if you actually break him out. And right now he's sitting mid to upper 70s in pitches. His first 75 pitches of a ball game, average against him is 258. Anything past that, the average goes up to 353. So this is that built-in threshold that they kind of have for Mendoza. They really start to watch him closely once he gets to this point.
The Rays have a runner at first, and Vin Zobrist, the hitter, 1 on 1 out. And Perez goes to the mound, taking a little time out there. Vin drove it around with a fly ball in the 3rd. The Rays got another run in that inning when Keppinger singled home Joyce. Pitch is way wide. And to throw a breaking ball. 1-0. Outside corner. Now 1-1. 15th start for Mendoza. Put up only 9 home runs this year. 2 balls and a strike. He leaves that pitch high. Well, he's been behind Joyce 3-1, walked him. Longoria hit the ball hard, line to left, and now Zobrist is ahead in the count, 3-1. First, Joyce back in. Pitch is ball 4. Joyce heads to second base. Zobrist aboard at first. Ned Yost comes out of the dugout. 82 pitches for Mendoza. And the Royals are going to make a pitching change. We'll be back in a moment. Rays have a 2-1 lead. Coming up on tomorrow's Rays Live pregame, Rays take on the Oakland A's. Pregame presented by Gulf Coast Honda, the wild card matchup. Look at Big Jake McGee and BA's breakdown, the journey to the bigs, featuring Jake McGee.
Those are always fun stories.
Yep.
Because if they're worth doing a story on, it's worth watching.
Watch that, and if you want, you could break down the story.
It's an idea.
Lewis Coleman is the new pitcher.
Always looking for ideas.
First pitch to Keppinger.
No.
Going outside.
I know what I want to break down.
Okay.
Already, I want to break down Coleman's mechanics. I want to break down this delivery here.
Well, you can do that now.
Because this is about as deceptive as you could get for a right-hander. He sets up, cockeyed, steps towards the third base line, throws back across the body from a low angle. That's difficult to deal with.
Pitch is up. 2-0.
He's got to be looking like he's throwing from behind you. You stand in that box.
Or maybe around a corner.
Yeah, right.
Couple of walks here. The Rays have 2 on in the 5th. Three balls, no strikes. One ball down to third. Moustakas to second one. First base 2. They get the double play as Keppinger swinging 3-0. Grounds into a 5-4-3. Rays lead 2-1 through 5.
Lead the Royals 2-1. You can catch the Rays as they battle the Yankees on Wednesday, September the 5th, and the first 10,000 fans will receive a Carlos Pena home run figurine presented by Fresh for Florida Kids that highlights his celebratory trot around the bases. For tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com.
James Shields through 5 innings has made 67 pitches. Gave up a run in the second. A run on 3 hits. 4 strikeouts, and he faces the top of the order, Lorenzo Cain, and he's taking that pitch all the way, a breaking ball for strike 1. Cain is grounded out. That was to third in the first, and a fly ball to right in the third. Bounces it foul. A 2-strike count. Pitch is down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bouncing ball foul. The 1-2 from Shields. 2-2. Pitch upstairs. Cain works the count to 3-2. Third full count Shields has had today. Popper short right. Roberts out from second. Joyce in, and Matt Joyce makes the catch. That is the first out here in the 6th.
Well, hey fans, find your best connection to all your favorite Florida sports teams with the Fox Sports Florida Girls. Like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Join the conversation now with Annie Lee and Jordana. Fox Sports Florida girls are waiting right now to hear from you.
Here's Escobar. Pitch is a strike. Alcides Escobar is 1 for 2. Up the base hit up the right field line in the third. Picked up a stolen base and was stranded. 0-2 now. Bouncer headed to short, charged by Zobrist. And the throw to first. Zobrist straight in from short. 2 up, 2 down. Well, just to give us the proper perspective here in the East, the Rays have moved to within 4 games of the Yankees, running second, a game up on Baltimore, and they carry that game up lead into the wild card. The Rays top spot in the wild card. The game up on Baltimore, the Orioles second, and then Oakland a halfback of Baltimore.
I think you can see as you break that out, Baltimore obviously a surprise what they've been able to do and maintain it all season long. Oakland's got to be a surprise, and Detroit a surprise that they haven't run away with the Central.
Yeah, everybody thought that they would be the dominant team in the Central Division. Cleveland made a little feign at the beginning, and they've faded. How about this, Seattle? If you break that down beyond Los Angeles, the Mariners in the wild card moved ahead of the Red Sox. Ground ball to short. Zobrist with the high throw, but Pena's down on the bag. Gordon went in head first. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals. Bottom half of the 6th. It's 2-1. Tampa.
On the disabled list, he came up with an idea for the Rays hand gesture on website Wednesday. A lot of fans are asking about that hand gesture. We saw it earlier today from Jeff Keppinger. Here's the explanation from Elliot Johnson.
Longo actually came up with just a simple team unity type thing. And, I mean, it could be done any number of different ways. But that's what he wanted it to stand for. But, I mean, really, it's kind of more just like a, look at me, I got a hit, now you get a hit, or drive me in, or whatever the case is. You come up, you get a hit too. It has more to do with that than actual team unity type thing.
So there is the explanation. Some guys add their own variations, but a team unity gesture, guys.
Thank you very much. One strike, the count. Meanwhile, the count's 0-1. Carlos reached on a walk his first time. 0 for 1. It's a 1-1 count. Ball, 2 strikes. That breaking pitch started off the plate and caught the corner.
That breaking ball started in the Kansas City on deck circuit.
Yes,
where it started.
I mean, look at this. It seems to be more exaggerated than when he came into the game. Still 1-2.
You know, we talked about how difficult it would be right-handed hitter. I mean, like I said, it's got to feel like the guy's coming from behind you. From a lefty, you're going to get a little bit better of a view. However, he still throws so far across his body. That arm is way out there and has to clear the body before you're going to see it. Cannot be that comfortable and that bad, at least if you're only going to face him once.
Count goes to 2-2. Mendoza worked 4 1/3. Made 81 pitches. Gave up a couple of runs, 5 hits. He walked 4. Hit a man, didn't strike out anyone. It has given away to the right-hander Coleman. That one started wide and didn't quite make the plate. The count is full. Drive, that's going to be foul. Well fouled, and he'll see another 3-2 pitch.
And if I was Coleman, I would come right back with that backdoor breaking ball. Make sure you do what you need to do to execute that for a strike, not be too fine with it, and let the depth on that pitch and the change of speed.
Roller foul. Coleman's fastball. Coleman's out of Mississippi and went to LSU. Originally drafted by Atlanta and then wound up taking a scholarship to go to Louisiana State. And he walks Pena. Pena on for the second time, 2 bases on balls. Coleman got the double play out of Keppinger in the 5th inning to end that threat. Now Pena has walked, and here's Ryan Roberts. Bounds it back. Strike 1. Two runs, 5 hits for the Rays, a run, 3 hits for the Kansas City Royals. Royals swept the Rays in Kansas City. They've divided the first 2 games here, wrapping up the season series. And it's 1-1. With these 2 runs, 1-4 in the season series against Kansas City. That's a strike and a look down to first by Perez, and Pena's back in there. Through the first 5 games of the season series, Kansas City had a team ERA against the Rays of 1.80. Roberts chops it foul.
Most of that coming from Lou Koshaver and that Kansas City bullpen. That can be overpowering at times.
Two balls, 2 strikes. This one headed toward the gap in left center field. He hung that one. Extra bases for Roberts. Pena rounding third on his way to the plate. The throw is going to be late. It's a double for Roberts, and the Rays take a 3-1 lead. Two pitch that Hubbard, and Roberts plugged the gap in left center field.
Well, he had seen a couple of breaking balls in this at bat. Stays on this one nicely. This ball hung up a little bit for him, and he drills it out into left center field. Carlos Pena gets a good jump on that. A good read. No hesitation at all for Carlos, and he's going to motor all the way around from first and score on that. Going up high.
So it's a 2-run lead now for the Rays as Pena scored from first. Dave Island on the mound spending some time with the right-hander Coleman. Still nobody out in the inning, and Jose Lobaton will bat against Coleman.
Number 21, Jose Lobaton.
Lobaton is grounded out, hit a fly ball to center. The left-hander Tim Collins now up. And the bunt, Lobaton back to the mound. And the toss to first. Coleman on the throw to first to Hosmer, the first baseman, who got back to cover. Sacrifice sends Roberts to third.
Yeah, that's a nice option for Joe Madden to have. When you got a catcher up there, most catchers not known for their bunting prowess, but Lobaton does a nice job there getting that bunt done, doing his job, moving that runner to third base here with just 1 out.
And it moves the Kansas City infield in for Desmond Jennings with a runner at third. 1 ball, no strikes. Jennings takes a look at that pitch as it moves down. 2-0.
Probably going to put him on, I think, intentionally.
Yep, there's the intentional pass. Big issue now. The count going to 2-0. An intentional walk to Jennings. Sutton set up that first and third. The run home, 1 out, and B.J. Upton, who's 2 for 3, will be the hitter. Upton with a couple hits in this series. BJ swings a big cut at that first pitch. Fastball, strike one. BJ coming off the 5 home run road trip. Jumps his total to 15. And nothing given away there. Now the bunt attempt, and it's popped up foul. Going to be caught by Hosmer. And Upton is out number 2. Now the Rays had the bunt on, and if Upton can get it down, Roberts would be headed for the plate, but BJ reaching for that bunt, pops it out.
Yeah, that's that safety squeeze the Rays are so fond of, and you're right. Once you reach that ball, you run the risk of that ball being popped up, and that's exactly what happened.
Another pitching change coming for Kansas City. Ed Yost wants the left-hander.
The Rays have runners on the corners and lead this ball game 3-1. Well, this MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports.
Speaking of great, those pins look really great.
Just that, you know, a small symbol of the greater
good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Tim Collins on to face Matt Joyce. Rays runners on the corners at first and third. The first pitch to Joyce is a strike. Joyce singled and scored in the third. Drew a walk in the fifth. Upstairs. 1-1. Runner takes off from first. Ball hit on the ground to second. You have Atella with the pickup. The toss in time. The Rays score 1 through 6. It's 3-1 Tampa Bay. Kansas City opened the scoring in the second when Jeff Francoeur singled the center, scored Perez. The Rays got a run in the third inning. Ben Zobrist involved in that one with a sacrifice fly, and then Jeff Keppinger singled home Matt Joyce. The double by Roberts in the sixth scored Pena. Brian Roberts picking up his 11th run batted in a Rays uniform. The Rays hold a 3-1 lead as we go into the seventh inning. And here we are again, the Rays starting pitcher beginning the seventh. Boy, what a luxury that is to have that kind of starting pitching so consistently. And of course the bullpen has been spot on as well. Billy Butler takes the first pitch, and that's a strike. Butler, Salvador Perez, and then Mike Moustakas due up. Tapper to the right side. Pena's going to run it into the bag for the out.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better start to this inning. Billy Butler, very dangerous hitter, and a nice breaking ball there by Shields. Right off the end of the bat for an easy out.
Well, Shields in the low 80s in pitch count now as he's one out into the seventh. Perez fouls this pitch back. Strike one. Ground ball headed to short. Zobrist with the nice play. Perez is out number two.
Now, and here again, the theme, James Shields attacking early, getting early in the count outs. You're now 2 outs into the seventh inning on just 84 pitches. And what you end up doing when you have that approach from the very beginning of the game is you put that other team into swing mode. They know that they can't just sit back and take off of you. You're going to get ahead of them. They don't want to see the two-strike changeups. And so you put them into swing mode, and if you're able to execute your pitches, you get the kind of outs that we've been seeing James get here.
Mike Moustakas taking one wide. Well, he set that theme in the first when he had a 10-pitch inning.
Yep.
And he's had 4 13-pitch innings in this game. And a couple quick outs here in the seventh.
Just absolutely love it when he goes out there with the idea, I'm not messing around. Here it is. Here I am. I'm going to make quick work of you, and I'm going to move on to the next guy. When he has that attitude, look out.
Well, you truly take command. 1-1. Oh, it's a 2-1 count. Rays after win number 69 today. There's 68 and 55 coming into play. Pitch is upstairs. 3-1. And ball 4 is too low. Shields gives up the walk. So Moustakas walks with 2 gone. First walk given up by Shields today. Jeff Francoeur will now step in. Francoeur singled in a run in the second inning and was called out on strikes back in the fifth on a pitch that started in and started to break its way toward the plate. It was called out. He didn't like the call. And there's a bunt, third base side. That's going to be foul. Picked up by Lobaton, hustling from out back of the plate to make sure he could get to that ball in foul territory and keep it that way. 0-1 the count now. Rays take on the Athletics. That's first of a 3-game series tomorrow night. We'll be with you at 6:30. Here the Rays grab the lead with that 2-run third, added a run in the 6th, and lead 3-1. Moustakas, the runner, is back in. And again over there, just as Moustakas hopped away from the bag and started to set up his lead, he had to get back quickly.
Yeah, you've got to be careful in all facets over there when you're taking your lead. You can't take too big of steps. You can't hop out there. You can't be aggressively leaving the bag. Shields will pick from any point his delivery.
You know, there's a foul ball for strike 2. He has the ability to read that base runner just as he starts to move a little bit, in this case to his right, to fire that ball over to first. And we've seen him time after time with just accurate pegs over to first, right on the bag. His pitch is down. But I think as much as the accuracy of his throws, it's his timing.
Well, here's all you got to do. You take another shot at that from the side. Look where he's at. He's in a position where he's not looking over his shoulder. He's got his arms up. You'll see it right here. He has his eye on the runner over there, and he has his hands high. So if he does decide to go after he's come set, you know, sometimes he'll go on his way coming up. But if he comes set, his hands are high. It's a quick turn. The hands are already in throwing position right there. It's quick feet and a throw right from there.
Still 1-2.
He puts himself in great physical position and then just has his eye over there. And if there's any slight movement, he knows I am a quick foot movement away from releasing that ball from my ear. And how many times have we seen him make that throw and make it right on the money? He's going to put it there for you.
Strike 3 call. Francoeur caught looking for the second straight time. 7th inning stretch time. 3-1 Rays.
Three to 1. Time to check in once again on our Autoway text poll question of the day. If the Rays do make a wild card spot, who would you like to see them play in that one-game playoff? TB1 Baltimore, TB2 Oakland, TB3 the Angels, TB4 the Tigers, TB5 the Chicago White Sox. Text your votes to 789-789. Standard message and data rates apply. You can see the standings right there with the Rays leading Baltimore by a game and Oakland by a game and a half. Guys, our next question. A lot of people watching over in Europe today, which happens when we have these weekday day games. And a question from Holland wants to know what your opinion is of the new playoff system and especially of the wild card one-game playoff.
Righty, here's Evan Longoria. First pitch is a strike from Kelvin Herrera. Collins worked the third of an inning. Herrera on for the 57th time. And a line drive into left. Longoria picks up his first hit of the day. Fastball into left.
Well, Evan, get it started early. And he does. Right out over top of that baseball. A nice liner right out there in the left field.
Now he's going to leave for the pinch runner after picking up a base hit on that 98-mile-per-hour fastball. Sam Fold will run. Sam's aboard over there. Rays will try to tack on to this lead as Ben Zobrist takes the pitch too low. Ben drove in a run with a fly ball back in the third. He walked in the fifth, officially 0 for 1. The pitch to Ben is a strike. It's 1-1. Rays about hit Kansas City 7-3. They lead 3-1. Have the leadoff man on base in the 7th. We had a question when you stepped out for a moment about that playoff spot. You know, the wild card and the single game. I kind of like the idea of 2 wild cards now. The single game is not ideal, but I don't think you could have a series any longer than that because you'd have other teams sitting around for a longer period, and you don't want that.
I mean, I have a policy of not answering questions that I did not hear firsthand.
A line drive into right field, back toward the corner. Francoeur with the pickup. Fold goes to third. The throw back in is loose on the infield. Sam heads to the plate. He is safe at the plate. He got his hand in there. Aggressive base running. Zobrist winds up with a double. And when the throw back to the infield got away, Fold managed to get a hand in there.
And this is where it becomes very dangerous for Sam Fold. Here's the throw by Francoeur, but as it bounds away and Sam heads towards the plate, he's going to slide head first with those arms exposed as Salvador Perez reaches that left leg out. Watch this. Well, you got a chance to get hurt there. You see the late leg, but Sam, that left hand comes in.
So Sam makes it a 4-1 game on the double by Zobrist. An error charge to Escobar. The throw back from Francoeur, a one-hopper that skipped by Escobar. And now the pitch is fouled by Keppinger. So the Rays add a run. A couple of hits here off Herrera to start the bottom of the 7th. Keppinger fouls one back and out of play. A 2-strike count. So it's 4-8-0 for the Rays, 1-3-2 for Kansas City. Rays scoring on this play here, but Fold was at first when Zobrist doubled, so the Rays are still 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position today. That's when Keppinger, who's at the plate now, single homer run in the 3rd inning. Pitch is down. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So just ahead of the Zobrist double, So I would assume then that you just have no comment on that.
On the question that I did not hear?
Yeah.
That would be correct.
Okay, good. Just to make sure. We're on the same page. And a little foul ball. Keppinger stays alive. Full pinch running for Longoria. Foul back and out of play. Mendoza, Coleman, Collins, and now Herrera. Chopped to the right side. Herrera finds the bag and takes the toss from Hosmer. And over to third goes Zobrist.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something right now, and I may be crazy. I don't think so. At least when it comes to what I'm going to say here.
We'll take a vote.
Yes. That was a very selfless swing there by Jeff Keppinger. I mean, that breaking ball, you know, that situation, runner on second base, and he just took a little inside out. Watch this. Watches it come down. And look at him. Like he was just turning his body to slap the ball the other way to the very least move that runner up from second to third. That's great job.
Well, it puts a runner at third base with only one out and forces the infield in.
Yep.
And will give Pena a chance to add to the lead. It's down and in. 1 ball, no strikes.
Experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Hancock Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Hancock Bank Club features an upscale menu and inclusive drink options. Tickets, more information, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
Fastball foul back. It's 1-1. The high fly ball short right. Francoeur makes the catch, a tag. Zobrist draws the throw, and that's it. So Pena is out of there. 2 gone.
No, just not.
By the way, on that question about the wild card, no, I'm not asking you. I wouldn't ask you to make any comment. I'm just going to tell you.
Okay.
That was a question from Europe, came from Holland.
Very nice.
And there was a follow-up comment from the person who sent that question that said, thanks for answering the question, and hope that it didn't create any friction between us.
None whatsoever.
It just popped up, handled by the shortstop Escobar. And so that retires the side. The Rays get a run, and they lead 4-1. go to the 8th. It's 4-1. Rays lead this game. They've out-hit Kansas City 8-3. James Shields on the hill. 94 pitches for Shields. He'll face Eric Hosmer, the first baseman. Pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. Hosmer, followed by the second baseman, Johnny Giavotella, and then Lorenzo Cain, the leadoff man. Pitch is fouled. 1-1. While we were appreciative of our Rays fans in Europe and the question we got from Holland, also want to pass along a happy birthday wish to Ronnie McGaffis, 89 years young today. She has been one of the great Rays fans from the very beginning, loyal to this club through thick and thin, and it is her birthday today. 2-1 the count.
I mean, what could make for a better birthday than the Rays finish this ball game off with a win?
That's right.
And your acknowledgement that just happened. Come on, are you kidding me? It's a pretty good day.
Well, Shields doing a good job of hopefully pitching the Rays to a win, and he gets a call, third strike on Hosmer, and he's upset. He didn't like the call.
Well, you can read his lips right there. He said, come on, that's down. He thinks that ball is down. I think Shields put that about kneecap high right on the outside corner. Let's take a look. It's borderline. It's close. You can see it cross right over the knees.
And I think Scott Berry just ejected against Ned Yost. I'm not sure if he ejected Hosmer or Yost, but now the Kansas City manager out here to put up a beef. Well, it's an automatic for a manager. Giavotella. Pitch is a strike.
Hey, how many times have we talked about it too? The fastball down and away. It's on the corner and right at the kneecaps. It looks like it's that far away. That's the thing. I think Hosmer's been very happy with the strike zone all day.
Ground ball headed back into center field through the middle. Giavotella has his first hit of the game. It's the first hit for Kansas City since Escobar singled in the third. Jake McGee, we saw him up earlier. Now Kyle Farnsworth joins McGee. Top of the order, Lorenzo Cain. Cain's nothing of 3. Shields now just over 100 pitches. That's a strike at the knees. Shields worked 6 innings his last time out, 7 the time before that, 8 against Toronto before that, and prior to that one against Oakland was that 8-0 3-hit shutout. 2 strikes the count to Cain. down. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strikeout number 7 for Shields.
Now an aggressive swing there by Kane, but a more aggressive pitch, even though it was a changeup. Look at James really sell that change down in the zone with great arm action. Keeps that ball right down the middle of the plate.
Two outs with a runner at first, and here's the shortstop, Alcides Escobar. And a shot up the gap into left center field. Upton will have to go to the wall after it. Vitella heads to the plate. He will score. Escobar goes into third. That will make it 4-2. A triple for Escobar. His 6th triple and his 41st run batted in.
Vitella was going to score regardless, but Escobar able to get to third because this ball is able to get by Desmond Jennings out there. This ball was sizzled into the gap. Nice swing, head down by Escobar. Really drove that pitch nicely. Once this gets by Desmond and gets to the wall, it's going to be 3 all the way.
Well, Joe Madden now will come out to make the pitching change. James Shields departs after working 7 2/3. He gets a good hand. Ball to the bullpen. We'll be back in a moment. That's it for James Shields. Our Toyota inside look on Shields today. Very good outing for the Rays' 30-year-old right-hander.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what you're looking at is a guy who is back in attack mode once again, working all the pitches, using both sides of the plate. The changeup was good, but most importantly, it was the mindset. The mindset was, I'm coming right after this. James continues that trend and puts up another nice line.
Well, Jake McGee on to face the left-handed bat of Alex Gordon. First pitch is a fastball off the plate in. Now the 51st appearance for McGee. Escobar is at third. 1-1. 104 pitches for Shields. Leaves with a man on. 2 runs allowed so far. 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, and a walk. And now it's in McGee's hands. fastball, mid-90s, 1-2. Escobar, the runner. The ground ball headed into center. That's a base hit. Will score Escobar. Gordon drives in a run, and that's going to make it 4-3. So the runner scores. Butler is due up, and Joe Madden comes out of the dugout one more time. With Butler due, another call to the bullpen for the Rays, and we'll be back in a moment.
Top of the 8th inning, and Kansas City has tightened this game up. It's now 4-3. Runner on first. Kyle Farnsworth in the ball game. Well, coming up on Rays Live, the post game presented by Checkers. Todd and Orestes will hold the fort down from center field, and they will anchor the coverage from there. We'll hear what Joe Madden has to say about this afternoon's game as Laura collects interviews from the Rays clubhouse.
So it's Kyle Farnsworth to face Billy Butler. Farnsworth making his 18th appearance. Over to first. Gordon back in. Farnsworth has faced Butler. Butler 0 for 6 lifetime against him with a strikeout. You got him here Monday night on a ground ball to third. Head-to-head matchup. Break to that pitch, and Butler takes it for a strike. J.P. Howell up in the bullpen. Butler has struck out twice, has grounded out. Another move to first, and Gordon back in. Only 5 home runs for Butler and 79 runs batted in. And a little tapper. Farnsworth has it. The underhanded flip to first retires the side. Kansas City makes it a 1-run game. 4-3 mid-8.
broadcast is presented by authority of the Tampa Bay Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
4-3 ball game as the Rays come into bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. They'll face the right-hander Aaron Crow, 5th pitcher of the day for Kansas City.
Another one of those big strikeout guys, a strikeout an inning, 49 and 49. 54th appearance.
Jose Lobaton to lead off against him. First pitch popped up. That's a foul ball and will carry out of play. Fastball from Crow in around 94. Fernando Rodney busy in the bullpen for the Rays right now. Starting to throw. 1-1. Four and a third for Mendoza, an inning and a third for Coleman, a third of an inning for Collins, 1 inning for Herrera, and now Crow. 2 balls and a strike. There's a shot, pretty well hit to center. That's got some carry on it, and it's gone. Home run for Jose Lobaton, his 2nd home run of the year to center field, and the Rays lead by 2. It's a 5-3 ball game.
Now that changes the whole complexion. I mean, just that one run after the Royals were able to cut that lead from 4-1 to 4-3. Jose Lobaton goes down and gets a fastball that's down but middle of the plate, and he just drills this pitch.
Desmond Jennings, there's a strike. Jennings 0 for 3 with an intentional walk. So Lobaton gives the Rays a little cushion. Lobaton's 2nd big league home run. Both have come from the left side. 1-2 the count on Jennings. His first big league home run at the end of July, not quite a month ago, off Matt Lindstrom. And he had ice cream that day and served by Luke Scott another helping of ice cream after that home run.
Another bowl, 4 scoops.
The line drive into right. Francoeur in line to make the catch. Jennings is the first out. Well, Lobaton enjoying that there in the Rays dugout, as he did when he hit his first big league home run in Baltimore. 1-0, so that's his first big league home run at home.
You should ask that before you put it in your mouth.
Yeah, what is this?
Halfway through it.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's the second good policy you have today. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball.
I'm going to tell you what.
1-2, yes.
It keeps me moving right along in the right direction.
It's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A little tap foul. So the count's 2-2 here on Upton. Foul ball out of play. And a cut to miss. Upton out on strikes. That's the first strikeout in the Rays lineup today.
Well, this is a good breaking ball here by Crow, and a better job on the day by that Rays lineup. And we know the Rays are prone to the strikeout. They can put up some healthy numbers in that category, but did a nice job today, at least putting the ball in play, giving themselves a chance, battling each and every at-bat. Right now sit on a 2-run lead.
1-0 the count to Joyce. Too high. Rays had a game earlier this year against the Red Sox up at Fenway when they struck out only twice in a game. That was a game started by Beckett. Beckett and Melanson each had 1 strikeout. Beckett 8 innings, 5 hits. And the Rays with just 1 strikeout in this one. High fly ball, right field. Rancourt toward the line a bit, makes the catch. So the Rays are finished in the 8th, but they add a run on the home run to center field off the bat of Jose Lobaton. We go to the 9th. It's 5-3 Tampa Bay.
Head into the top of the 9th inning. Rays fans, tune in Saturday for the premiere of Inside the Rays, the Relief Corps, where we examine the ins and outs of the Rays bullpen. It's all on Inside the Rays, the Relief Corps, Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on Sun Sports, where Rays fans live.
Fernando Rodney with 38 saves comes on here in the 9th inning. The Rays leading 5-3. He'll face Salvador Perez to begin the 9th. First pitch hit on the ground is short. Nice little hop for Zobrist. And he makes the throw to first. One pitch, one out. That'll be Mike Moustakas stepping in. Moustakas 0 for 2. He walked in the 7th. And Rodney's pitch is upstairs. Rodney pitched an inning in the game last night. Two and 0. Trying to close this one out for Shields. Shields looking for his 12th win. The count's now 3-0. Rodney has saved 7 of the 11 victories so far this year for Shields. And he throws a strike. Now 3-1.
That 2-run lead, 9th inning, 1 out. Fernando Rodney, 3-1 changeup. Talk about a willingness to throw that pitch in any count, in any situation.
Just a little piece of that one, a foul ball. Came back with a change there, 3-2. And there's really no rhyme or reason to that pitch selection, changeup, fastball. He'll throw either one of those pitches at any time and any count.
No, and honestly, if he came out and told us that it was a coin flip, you'd believe it.
The popper left side. Zobrist angling out. Keppinger now coming in from left is Jennings. Better angle, and Desmond Jennings takes care of that. 2 outs.
I mean, you already told me that Wolverine would make a good house pet. I believe that.
Well, his body of work here this year proof that it could have been a coin toss to determine pitch selection. Well, and he's had the great command regardless.
That's the thing. The great command to go along with the variation of speeds on the 2 pitches.
97 on the fastball. Francoeur fouls it.
And he may come back with the next pitch, the changeup, which will look just like that fastball at 81. That's the thing. I mean, it's such a canyon-like difference.
Pitch fouled. A fastball and fouled up the opposite side out of play. 0-2.
Yeah, that ball was almost by him. You get caught guessing a little bit, caught in between a lot on Fernando Rodney. We see that all the time with the swings, either way late or way out in front.
A 2-strike count. The pitch. Upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fernando Rodney delivers, and a ground ball off Rodney. He picks it up and shovels it over to first to get that final out. And Francoeur out. Pitcher first. The Rays win it 5-3. They win their 69th game of the year. And James Shields will get victory number 12. He is 12-7. And for Fernando Rodney, a save. And on a day when the Rays went 1 for 13 with men in scoring position, they win this game 5-3. Jose Lobaton's home run in the bottom of the 8th gave them a 2-run edge. Shields overall 12-7. Mendoza, the loser, now 7-9. And that save for Rodney was number 39. Took 2 hours and 54 minutes to play this game before 11,892. Here's a look at the final out. Rodney with that quick little toss to Pena after recovering the ground ball back to the hill. So the Rays, who started the day up a game in the wild card, now have a game and a half edge over Baltimore. And the Baltimore Orioles in the second wild card spot, a half game up on Oakland. The Rays will be playing the Oakland A's here tomorrow night. Meanwhile, Oakland in the early stages of their game at home against Minnesota in Oakland. Right now, let's go to the field and Todd Cowles.
Dwayne, thanks. Ryan, you've only been with this team a short while, but it seems like you guys do a good job of filing away tough losses like last night.
Oh, yeah, it's always good to get back on a winning track. You know, we play some great baseball, and you can't get too greedy in this game. You can't win them all. So we really need understanding of that. It's just coming out here every night and putting together a good performance. Our pitching staff has been great, so it just comes down to swinging the bats.
When you had a nice double hit that make it a 4-1 game. When you guys came out here today, after that David Price game, and you got James Shields, nice to know you can go back-to-back with those two to try and win a series. Oh,
sure, man. I mean, I can't say enough about all of them. I mean, our starting staff and the bullpen, I mean, everybody. I wouldn't want to face anybody. You know, they're coming in and throwing, like I said, all we got to do is manufacture a few runs and we can win a game.
For you personally, I know you said timing was starting to get better on that road trip. Do you feel like it's been a little bit better the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a struggle with everybody in baseball. You know, you go through good times and bad times, but, you know, the timing seems to be the issue with a lot of people. You know, it's not too much mechanics. It's just trying to be on time every time and hit the ball back up the middle. So that's all I've been working on, is just trying to hit the ball back up the middle.
Just 6 weeks to go in the regular season. You joined this team late, but are you having as much fun now as you have at any point in any baseball season?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I have more fun than I have any other time. You know, it's great here. I can't say enough good things about this team and about the atmosphere here. It's awesome.
Ryan, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, Ryan Roberts with that double in the 6th inning to give the Rays a 4-1 lead. Back to you.
And the Rays go on and win it 5-3. We'll be back in a moment.